Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about emotional intellect. When I was a little bit younger, a few years ago, I didn't take emotional intellect as something that's really important to my kids' development. I kind of took it for granted. But it's actually on the same level, if not higher, as cognitive intellect. So don't underestimate the value of emotional intellect. Emotions are super important because we perceive our world through emotions. Emotions dictate what we think, our motivations, and our actions. So it starts with emotion to a thought, and then the thought leads to an action. So controlling your emotions and understanding your emotions is a vital skill, and it is one of the most important skills you're going to pass to your children. In today's age, you can see that a lot of people are on their phones, and that's especially detrimental if you have younger kids under the age of 3, but even under the age of 20. Honestly, when you guys communicating with your child, you cannot have the phone next to you. Put it away as far as you can. So one thing, when you're looking through at your phone, the child doesn't know much about emotions when they're young at all. They will only learn it through you, through adults. So the more people you have in their lives, the more people interact with your child, the better it is for your child, because that's how they're going to learn the emotions. They cannot learn emotions through cartoons, through any kind of digital device, through anything. They need a live human being. So think about it, when you're on your phone, your face is still. You're looking, you're scrolling, you can laugh here and there, but the child doesn't understand why you're laughing or what even that means. So you are the model, they will read the emotions through you. The sad part is that majority of people can name on average 7 emotions. So go ahead and test yourself. How many emotions can you name? I probably would have named 7 myself or so back in my early days, but my mom was a little bit forward thinking, and when my kids were pretty much just born, my oldest one, Joey, she brought me these cards. So these are all emotion cards. So I at that time, I didn't take emotions seriously. To me, cognitive development was number 1, but this is, guys, just as important, if not more important. So if you think about it, the most important decisions in your life, finding a spouse, getting a job, working in a team environment, working with people, what is the most important skill you're going to use? You're going to use communication, of course, but the other one is emotions. So you need to read, you have to understand what the other person is feeling. They might not say it, but you have to kind of read the body language. When you're asking for a raise, when you're talking to your boss, you need to know when is the best time to ask for a raise. You don't want to go in the office and say, when your boss is swamped, or when he's in or he or she is in a bad mood, and you're like, you know what, I think it's time for me to get a raise. No, you need to know when is the right time. When you're dating somebody, I've been hooked lately on the 90-Day Fiancé show, and it's essentially a show about finding somebody, like a fiancé, like getting engaged to a person, and they're from overseas, and then bringing that person to the United States, and then trying to work out their relationship and see if they're right fit, if they're going to get married within 90 days. And the obvious things, when you know, like there was a girl, I'm on season 5, and there's a girl there who is obsessed with this boy from Morocco. And the boy in Morocco, like, he's calling her fat, he's calling her lazy, saying that she needs to exercise. The facial expressions he makes, the body language. And this girl, like, I think everybody else sees it but herself, that she is not loved, that this person is not in love with her. He just wants to come to America. And it's so sad. So that's essentially, forget about cognitive, forget about reading books, and that's important, don't get me wrong, but what's more important, to be able to read Dostoevsky or finding a mate for life that's going to love you and respect you and have a good relationship with. Or having a job where people respect you and where you feel valued and you have good relationship with your coworkers. What's more important? Just think about that. But going back to the subject of children, how they learn, the only way they learn emotions is through you, through the people who communicate with them. So, and especially, and I was actually at the lecture yesterday in my son's school. They had like free sessions. I was surprised, not many parents, and that was for the whole entire school district. I maybe saw 100 people there. The lectures were amazing. But what one of the ladies said about social development and things like that, she said that when kids are mad, when they're in that fight or flight response, they regress 3 to 4 years back in their development. So a kindergartner is going to act like a toddler when they're under stress or in a situation where they're like cannot control their emotions. So just think about that, what you're dealing with and how important it is to control your own emotions and then control emotions of, and teach your kids to control their emotions. So how do you control the emotions? How do you teach them about emotions? You model, you name the emotions that they're experiencing. Kids under 3 cannot distract themselves. So when they're in a situation where they're behaving badly or not to your liking, you gotta put them in a different room. You gotta put them out of the situation. Because under the age of 3, even 5-year-olds, they are not capable of switching themselves. You gotta get them out. You gotta change it up. In my situations, when I know like my kids are running around the house out of control, screaming or playing rough, to me, like I cannot say, oh, come on guys, let's go bake a cake. They'll be like looking at me like, no way. I do that. I said, put your shoes on. We're going outside. We're going to the park. That's how that's the best way for me to switch my boys. But if you have like a comma child, or if you have just one child in the family, you can just say, why don't we just go drawing or go cook something or make a project, I don't know, something fun, something that they like. That's really the best way to distract them. Another ways to express emotions is in theater, but don't overdo it with theaters. We started theaters at 4 and 5 years of age. With theater, you can, if the kids cannot take it, like if they cannot sit still, pay attention, if they're starting crying or antsy, want to leave, you gotta leave with your child. I'm not making this up. When we were at the theater with my boys, every time we go, we see situations. Kids are on the freaking iPad while they're at the theater. Can you believe that? What's the point? Or the kids is crying and the mom is like literally sitting through the whole damn show and let the kid cry and disturb everybody. And I'm just rolling my eyes thinking, just take the child back. Like I feel like they're far away. I don't know what the heck they are, but I just want to get up and just say that to those parents. It's so terrible. They're putting their child through such a bad experience. And guess what? Do you think the child would want to return and watch that show again? Or come close to the theater again? Maybe when they're like 10, when they completely forget about that awful experience, if they ever forget. But most likely no. So stay with your child, even if it's 15 minutes. Work your time up as you keep coming back, but do not force your child. Stay there and make the whole experience negative and completely awful for your child. And another thing, of course, especially when your child is going through like adaptation in schools, any kind of release like on the paper or any form of art is a great release emotionally. Right now, my son is going through adjustments in the 1st grade, so I started doing a lot of finger painting with him. Like we've done it when they're little babies, but now I brought it back up. Like I just buy, like they sell those little packs of paint in Target and Walmart, and I just buy them. And before they would paint with fingers, I would just put a little bit of the paint in the cap. But now I just give them the whole thing, and they use fingers, they use brushes, and they just paint in the tub. The easiest way, like to clean up and and it's fun. And after he's been doing that, he all of a sudden wanted to draw in just on the paper. He was really nice drawings, actually, he started making. I was really impressed. So don't forget about theater, don't forget about physical expression. That's really good for the emotional release. So how else you can deal with negative emotions? Let the child scream it out. The emotion cannot stay inside, otherwise you're going to feel depressed, or the child's going to feel like upset and depressed. Let the emotion come out, release it. Never in a physical way, always in non-physical way. So you cannot break anything, cannot hit anything. You can scream. Roller coaster is great. Trying to outscream the airplane that's flying over, or a helicopter, or a train if you live close to train tracks. That could be really helpful. Scream it out, get that stress out, but do not break anything, because you're teaching your child a really bad behavior. Breathing techniques, meditation, looking at the clouds, looking at the leaves, water, fire, candles. Believe it or not, we just started doing fires again in the fireplace, and oh my gosh, the kids were amazed. They were like different kids playing by the fire. Clouds, anything nature related is great. So best of luck to you. Teach your kids emotions, control yourself first of all. I know it's not easy. I get irritated a lot, and it's not fun to lose your patience or your temper. Work on yourself first, and the children will model you. But still, talk out loud with your children, talk about the emotions, tell them how you feel, apologize to the kids when you screw up. Don't ignore that. I always apologize when I did something wrong. Tell them I'll try, I'll do my best not to do that again. All right, boys and girls, on that I would like to conclude this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please share if you find it helpful, so other people can learn a little bit more, or let's just create that community where we share our thoughts and our experiences and help each other out. It's not easy, it's really hard, but we can do it, and our kids need it. The kids need us more than we know. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.